reaction to GEICO wanting to do this with us was as fast as possible. Are you kidding me?
It's always been this symbiotic sort of relationship between motorcycles and guitars. I mean, I don't think I've ever been to a motorcycle rally or party that didn't have live music. As a rider myself, there's nothing like being on the open road on a motorcycle and really having the wind in your face. To me, they're both kind of rock and roll, where, you know, it's the same with putting a guitar in your hand. When you turn it up, you crank it up, it does something. It's like the motor of a motorcycle. Between the engine and a loud amp, you know, it's got that thing that like resonates inside of you. There's a lot of motorcyclists here. So to do something like this, you always get enthusiasm from guys when it's different. This guitar is created, and like many other ones, on kind of a piece of paper. We'll get an order for something, we'll discuss it. A lot of times I'll have to draw some custom inlay, or even with the top here, I had to draw and place out these stripes so they wouldn't interfere with knobs and all the extra stuff on here. And then once that's decided, we start picking the wood. So we'll go to the vault, we'll go wherever we can, because we have, you know, the resources of wood that we have is amazing. So it's not like we're just picking, you know, just a regular piece of mahogany off a shelf. I go through and look at about 20 pieces of wood and pick the best that I can pick for that particular guitar.
Ooh, I like that one.
Good.
That's the one.
Once that happens, I give that to my guys. It goes on the floor and they start processing each piece. Even though the wood is ready to go, there's still steps that we take throughout the building process that, you know, the guitar, the neck, things have to dry. Because once you cut a block of wood down, you still want to make sure you keep the same moisture content. To get this lettering, the GEICO motorcycle lettering on here with the birds, that's going to be done on a computer. So our R&D department will map that all out, computerize it, generate it, and then cut it on a CNC machine. We'll do that all in-house. Once that's ready, that comes over to Private Stock. They glue it all together. And really, it's a matter of just taking your time, going through a guitar manufacturing build process, and getting it into the next stage, which would be finish. Again, you're dealing with dry times with finish. You're dealing with sanding, making sure that everything is perfect, particularly a stain job. You know, a stain job like this on Northern Lights, whereas maybe a production stain will take, you know, 15 minutes, 20, 30 minutes tops. Something like this might take a couple hours because you're layering colors, you're waiting for them to dry, you sand them, you layer colors, and that's when you move this around in the light, you really start to see, you know, some of the work that was done in there, and you start to question, man, how did all those colors get in there? And then once the guitar hits assembly, parts are generally already picked out for it, because our assembler will know it's coming, picks out the parts, guitar enters his rack, and he's ready to go and puts it together about, you know, it takes about an hour or so, something like this. And then Paul will play check it. Give his little stamp of approval, and guitar's done and good to go. What makes Private Stock special and stand above the rest is that my team is made up of the best guys from each team throughout the years. It's a boutique team inside of a big box store.
It's the execution of all the details that's so important. I don't think people are really cognizant of how much work goes into a piece that's in an ad or in a documentary, or all the back editing and the, you know, hours and weeks of work. They just see it on TV and go, oh, okay, that just happened. No, it didn't just happen. Same thing with the guitar. The guitar didn't just happen. This is a huge amount of work, and every single piece of it's got to be right. I mean, they could have misspelled the word GEICO or motorcycle and we'd have blown the whole thing, right?